Racial discrimination against African Americans in the United States. Racial discrimination against African Americans has been a pervasive issue in the United States since the country's inception. Despite significant progress over the decades, the legacy of slavery, segregation, and systemic racism continues to impact the lives of millions. Understanding the historical context and current manifestations of this discrimination is crucial for fostering a more equitable society. The roots of racial discrimination in the United States can be traced back to the colonial era, where African slaves were forcibly brought to the country. This practice established a foundation of inequality that persisted long after the abolition of slavery in 1865. The Jim Crow laws that emerged in the late 19th century enforced racial segregation in public spaces, schools, and transportation, effectively institutionalizing discrimination. These laws not only marginalized African Americans but also reinforced stereotypes and social hierarchies that devalued their humanity. The civil rights movement of the 1950s and 1960s marked a significant turning point in the struggle against racial discrimination. Leaders such as Martin Luther King Jr. and Malcolm X emerged, advocating for equality and justice. Landmark legislation, including the Civil Rights Act of 1964 and the Voting Rights Act of 1965, aimed to dismantle institutional barriers and promote equal rights. However, despite these advancements, many African Americans still face discrimination in various aspects of life, including education, employment, and criminal justice. In contemporary society, racial discrimination manifests in both overt and subtle ways. For instance, studies have shown that African Americans are often subject to racial profiling by law enforcement. This practice can lead to higher rates of incarceration and police brutality. Additionally, disparities in education persist, with many predominantly black schools receiving significantly less funding than their predominantly white counterparts. This inequity hinders access to quality education and perpetuates cycles of poverty. Economic inequality further exacerbates the challenges faced by African Americans. According to the U.S. Census Bureau, the median household income for black families is significantly lower than that of white families. This economic disparity limits opportunities for homeownership, education, and upward mobility, creating a persistent wealth gap that spans generations. Efforts to address racial discrimination require a multifaceted approach. Education plays a crucial role in raising awareness about systemic racism and its impacts. Initiatives that promote diversity and inclusion in workplaces and schools can foster understanding and reduce bias. Moreover, policy reforms aimed at criminal justice, housing, and education can help dismantle the structures that perpetuate inequality. Racial discrimination against African Americans remains a critical issue in the United States. While historical progress has been made, ongoing challenges necessitate continued efforts to combat inequality. By acknowledging the past and actively working towards a more just future, society can create an environment where all individuals, regardless of race, are afforded the dignity and respect they deserve. Addressing these issues is not only a moral imperative but essential for the overall health and unity of the nation.